Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My actual name, is Weeraphong Sudathip, but I would prefer to be called Jack because it's a lot easier to pronounce. Before I begin to talk about how AVID has benefited my life, I'd like to talk about my personal background so all of you gain an understanding of what type of person I am. I was born and raised in a family that truly valued a good education. Before my father and I immigrated to America from Thailand, my mother was already a U.S. citizen. She worked long and hard as a maid in a hotel, saving all of her money so that she could buy plane tickets for my father and I. I cannot express my gratitude for what she had done for me. The only way I would be able to express my gratitude would be by one day obtaining my college degree. However, I had very little idea of how to get into college. It wasn't until my freshman year of high school that I was introduced to a class that would help me in my quest for a college degree. That class, as all of you would be able to guess, was AVID. I didn't know what AVID was, but I did know that if I were to take the class, I'd gain an understanding of how to get into college and how to get my degree. My decision to take AVID was one of the greatest decisions I've ever made in my entire life. There have been many occurrences in high school when a teacher doesn't explain something very well, because he or she is usually occupied with so many other students that they just can't help everyone, especially if there's only 1 hour of teaching. The great thing about AVID is when a dilemma such as this would occur, I could always go to my AVID classmates for help. We perform a social learning activity known as tutorials. And the tutorials that we do help me gain a better understanding of subjects I don't understand. Throughout my 3 years of high school, I feel that I've learned more in my one AVID class than any of my other 5 classes combined, except for sexual education. Because you learn a lot in that class. I know a teacher is hired to teach the students, but the teacher is usually occupied with so many other students that he or she can't help everyone. But I could always go to my AVID class for help. And because of my fellow AVID classmates, I now comprehend the subjects that I need in order to get into college. And I thank you for that. My favorite part of AVID are the field trips, obviously. The trips that we take are usually a tour around northern and southern California. The trip to the University of Santa Barbara was by far my favorite. When I stepped off that bus, my eyes were mesmerized by the huge campus and the beautiful scenery. I knew in my heart that this was the college I want to attend once I graduate from high school. As my fellow classmates and I toured around the college campus, we were all introduced to the college lifestyle. Our tour guide informed us of what majors were offered and what the college requirements were. This has been helpful to me because I became aware of what I need to do in order to get into college and what I was going to do once I get in. Although Santa Barbara is my #1 college of choice, the trips through different colleges have been helpful to me because it helps me decide what I want in a college and what I don't want in a college. And this has benefited me very much because my choices for colleges get narrowed down and I can focus on meeting the requirements from a small amount of colleges rather than trying to meet the requirements from a large amount. Thanks to the AVID field trips, I understand what certain colleges require from me, how to get into that college, what am I going to do once I get into college. It's like the tour guide said, college isn't about getting in. It's about what you're going to do once you get in. The greatest benefit in my AVID class would have to be my teacher, Mrs. Tucker. It was originally because of Mrs. Tucker that I decided to take the AVID class. What I admire most is how Mrs. Tucker would look at our grades to make sure that we weren't getting anything lower than a C. And if we were getting something lower than a C, she talked to us on a one-to-one basis about it. Occasionally, there are a few hard-headed students out there that feel a D was okay. However, Mrs. Tucker would constantly nag at them about getting a better grade. Through personal experience, believe me when I say that it is better to raise your grade from a D to a C rather than having to listen to Ms. Tucker's constant nagging. But the fact that Ms. Tucker cares about the success of her students are qualities that you don't see in every teacher these days. And I'm glad that she shows that she cares. And because of her pushing me to take the AVID class, I now have a good opportunity of getting into college. AVID is more than just a class that informs you about college requirements and how to get a college degree. It's a community that provides a friendly learning environment. And because of AVID, I now have a better understanding of how to get into college and how to get my college degree. In the words of Samuel L. Jackson, success doesn't always mean winning. There are other ways to win rather than winning the game. You can still win in life without winning the game. My respects to Mr. Jackson, but I plan to win in life and the game. Thank you.